My name is Yeaziji-Ayoubi. My major is studio arts, visual arts, majoring in studio arts. I chose a project. I'm working on like an installation of sculpture. My topic is anything related to migration and what causes migration. I need the funding to be able to have enough material and stuff to work on my sculpture, and so hopefully it would be done by the end of this semester, and then I'll try to put it in public galleries or public spaces. Okay, so my work typically is revolving about crises in the world, social issues, political issues. Right now, I'm focusing on migration since it is a thing that is happening around the world. I'm using my experience with what happened in Syria and what's still happening in Syria right now, since I am from Syria. And so I've worked on like a series of works about like destruction, how places have been bombed and cities have been left like abandoned because of it being destroyed. And this right now installation that I'm working on is a sculpture of a mother, and then hopefully I'd be able to work on the rest of her family as they're migrating, so they're in motion of migrating, kind of like how they look when they're migrating across borders. It's going to be life size, so my height. I want to basically shine more light on the things and issues that happen that lead to migration, because people just hear about it, but they don't really know a lot about what goes on behind the scenes that cause it in the first place. And so to clear any misunderstanding or anything that's going on socially and politically. Professor Timothy Congrove, he's he has been my sculpture and design professor for the past few years, and I've grown used to like his way of teaching and his experience. He's very well, like he knows a little about everything. And so my work is, I'm using mainly ceramics, and I did at first have mentors with ceramics that were ceramic professors, but then I decided to go with him because he's also really good in with sculpture, and I'm working big, and I wanted his advice on that, and also because I was working as assistant with him, and I just felt more comfortable working with him as a mentor. And most importantly, he gave me space to work. And the professor that is giving me the most time also in regards to going and asking questions, showing him the work, following up. And it's very hands-on and very cooperative and helpful in a lot of things. Even sometimes when I don't know, I need the help with something, he's like, yes, there's this thing or this person you can look up to help you maybe accomplish this better. So yeah, overall, it's a great experience working with Professor Tim. Mostly ceramic work. I've been taking ceramic classes for the past 4 years. And yeah, I've always worked like kind of small. The biggest I've worked is kind of like this big almost. But yeah, this is the first time I'm gonna be doing something that's life-size, like really tall, big sculpture work. I feel like I have enough experience to do it well enough. It's just some things like firing it or how to like keep it stable or what equipment I can get to help me work on something that's big like that. That's the stuff that I'm mainly getting help with from my mentor. And yeah, but the previous professors that I've had in ceramics also really helped me along my journey, like throughout these years to reach this level right now of work. Before, I mean, I knew how to work with clay, I knew how to do some things, but not really technically the way I've learned here, yeah. I've been given studio space and a lot of resources and a lot of materials that I was not able to have before at all. And of course, all the class projects, I've always tried to keep my work leaning towards the same theme while using what they're teaching me. Well, I am from Syria, and so I did go and lived there a period of time in my life. And part of that period was the last 2 years that I was there were 2011 and 2012, which were the first 2 years of the Revolutionary War that started there. And so we did see a lot of things, but we were fortunate that we were able to travel and go somewhere else. And since I'm a US citizen, I can come back here easily. But there are millions of people that live there that don't have that option or that have to migrate to a nearby country through the borders. And so I just feel responsible to grow more awareness on these issues. Another reason is because being here in the Valley, there's a lot of similar issues going on as well. And a lot of people here are passionate about this this issue, this crisis. And it's happening everywhere around the world. I mean, my experience comes from what's going on in Syria, but it's happening everywhere all the time. And so I don't feel like there's enough art out there that's shining light on these issues. And I feel like art is a very strong medium to move people emotionally, and emotions are what drive us to do anything. So that's what I'm hoping to do with my art, and that's why this is an important topic for me to stick with for a while. The media really narrows down what the viewer can see and know about. And so if people don't do their own research and know where to look and how to find the right information about stuff that's going on around the world, they're not really going to know anything. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't know to look. They just know what the information that they're receiving. And so I feel like even though on their part there should be a little bit more investigating, I feel like it's also on our part to share what we know, put out the right information so that people are knowledgeable, and then people can start doing something about what's going on. Well, I did get a lot of support also in showcasing the work that I've done. So far there were 2 galleries, or 3 actually, 3 shows that I was able to put my work in, and a lot of people have seen it, have asked questions, and they were really eager to learn about it. So that really made me hopeful. And of course I was able to do it. I mean, technically and physically I was able to do it and get the materials to do it, because otherwise I would have had to wait a few years to afford to do it anyway. Yeah, and of course the space and everything to be able to accomplish it. Yeah, art is expensive. And yeah, it needs time and it needs finance, so yeah. Well, I am bouncing it between classes and stuff, so throughout the week I try to spend around 2 to 3 days working on the project solely. I've had, though, like the past semester, I've had to work on it a few hours every other day because of the classes being every single day. But this semester, I'm able to work on it. Well, I'm also taking a ceramic class this semester too, so I'm able to work a little bit of it through like the classes that I'm taking in ceramics before and after the class, and then Fridays and on the weekends mostly. Whenever the studio space is open in the sculpture room, where it's providing me space to work on it. But yeah, I try to go in, get as much work done and there's a lot of drying in the process, like times that I have to wait for another step to be able to work on the other step. So it works out that there's a few day gaps, but yeah, I just go into the studio and I work, and sometimes I try to do something at home and then bring it to the studio and then put it together. To take advantage of it as soon as they hear about it, not to postpone it. I wish that I had done it quick enough the first years that I was, because I'd heard about it at first and I didn't think that I was gonna get it. And then the next time I tried, actually my professor, I had a professor, her name was Rahele, she advised me to do it, but as she advised me, then I knew the benefits and what importance it is. But by the time that I had decided that I wanted to do it, I was too late, and so I finally, the third time's the charm, yeah. But when you hear about it, my advice is to take advantage of it as soon as possible, and not to think that your project is not worth funding. Or I just want to thank the program and the Scholars Award and all the work that everyone's put in, especially with the galleries. They've done a great job in taking care of the work and in supporting all the students. So yeah.